Hello, my name is Count Lovenstein, and I am going to talk for a bit about 5G signals, chemtrails, bat droppings, and various other conspiracy theories. And my latest fear is a prison video. Now, I will give the disclaimer, this was all done in good humour, so I'm sure this video will go one of two ways. Either no one will watch it, or I'll get pelters from one side, the other side, or both. But here goes in the spirit of good fun. So, this is video, and as can be seen here, got my usual virtual partner in crime, Fiona, sitting at her PC keyboard in her hacker's den. As usual, she's all smartly dressed in her shirt and tie. As you can see, this text coming up the side here, she's deploying countermeasures against mind control signals. So, this concept actually came from somebody out in the 90s by someone called Lyle Zapato, who did, in my opinion, one of the coolest gags I've ever seen in a computer. He programmed Mindguard, which detects and intercepts psychotronic waves, which are used by people like the Illuminati and New World Order and what have you, to influence and control an individual's mind. Now his thing's actually cooler than mine because he's got a nice GUI and some graphics, and my coding skills are very limited. So to get all the nice graphics, I have to kind of cheat and use virtual worlds like Second Life and stuff I've created in Unity and all that kind of good stuff, and VidCarpet. But anyway, let's have a look at the program and some of the conspiracy theory ideas and stuff that it takes into account. So it's programmed in Vintage Basic, and the reason for that is I used to use Basic a lot when I was a kid, and this is a fairly faithful representation of the Basic that Bill Gates programmed for the Altair 8800 in the 70s. So it's very limited actually, but very easy to use. This is the listing here, only a few lines, not very big, and it's just basically it's basically reading these strings into memory addresses and then kind of spitting them back at you at random, and it's not, of course, actually intercepting and eliminating any mind control signals. All it's doing is taking inputs from the user and responding accordingly. So here we go. Don't really need to be using all that space. So scan for carrier signals. There we go, analysing data. Signal detected. Cyber attack. Reconnaissance General Bureau, RGB. So let's have a look at that. Reconnaissance General. Oof, can't type. So that's a North Korean intelligence agency, and so actually some of these, like this one, it's not that much of a stretch to imagine that the RGB would launch a cyber attack. So they'll actually give me that one. That could genuinely happen. Oh, deploy countermeasures, anti-malware applications deployed. Malware removed, mind control activity halted. Let's see another one. Signal detected. Oh, same again. Scan. COVID modulated 5G signal from Porton Down. Now, Porton Down is actually in Salisbury. They actually do manufacture fuck knows what, but they manufacture science and defence technology in Wiltshire, Salisbury, which is not far from where Stonehenge is actually. So I very much doubt. Chlorine, mustard gas, phosgene in the First World War. I highly doubt they're going to admit to what they're manufacturing at the moment. Tobin sarin, Soman, nerd gas. Back in the 50s. Oh, scientists died of... what the hell is that? A bacterial infection. Oh, they've got samples of Ebola. Fuck knows what they're doing in that. Novichok nerve agent was used in a nearby attack. The Russians were accused of it. I don't think they ever claimed responsibility. Anyway, that's Porton Down. Let's move on. Deploy countermeasures. 5G signals, incidentally, are just an octave up the electromagnetic spectrum from 4G signals. They are not dangerous at all, they are not ionizing radiation, and they do not have any effect on humans in terms of mind control. So that one is a pretty ridiculous one. COVID-19 is a virus. There is no way you could modulate a 5G signal with a virus that is completely and utterly preposterous. And anyone who actually believes that probably shouldn't be allowed out. Subliminal message detected. Conformity as freedom. These wee subliminal messages that pop up every now and again kind of was inspired by the film To Live. For those ones, anyone who's not seen it, I would recommend it as well, worth a watch. Echelon CIA comment. This Echelon actually is a surveillance program run by the USA, UK, and other kind of English-speaking allies, known as the Five Eyes. It was actually created to keep an eye on the communications of the Warsaw Pact and USSR and all that in the Cold War. It's certainly, I don't think there's any evidence whatsoever that it could be used for mind control. However, I have no doubt that it could be used just as easily to spy on people in Britain, Australia, or the USA as it could be used to spy on the Russians. Yeah, it was not something they gladly made public. It was a whistleblower, global listening network. Same guy revealed the existence of nuclear weapons in Israel in 1972. Eavesdropping. I don't think anyone is in any doubt that our so-called free and democratic governments are eavesdropping on us. The old, if you've got nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear, really. How about giving me your bank details? Or how about doing a YouTube video on your wife's sexual fetishes? You know, there's plenty of harmless people. I mean, everyone is going to do something at some point in their lives, more than one point in their lives, that could be used against them if someone wanted to do so, and they'd been eavesdropping. Even someone who's completely pure as a driven snow and innocent, collect enough information on them, you'll be able to twist some of it to make them look guilty of something. Mind control activity, halted. Suborbital frequency blast, CIA NK Ultra program. The NK Ultra program, I am pretty sure, is absolutely this maintains that there was an illegal human experimentation by the CIA intended to develop procedures and identify drugs that could be used during confessions to weaken people through brainwashing and psychological torture. Again, it doesn't surprise me terribly much. don't think there's many countries on Earth that won't have some kind of similar secret program that they would deploy on their enemies should the need arise. Anyway, onwards and upwards. Deploy countermeasures. Mind control activity altered. Echelon NSA Bull Run, that is part of the same Echelon program we already spoke about. What else we got in there? Chemtrails, source unknown, deploy countermeasures. In actual fact, the trails that come from planes at high altitude, the air is very thin compared to down here, to the point where you get up to above 30,000 feet. Humans can't generally breathe. Get above 40,000 feet, you might as well be in a vacuum for all the good the air up there would do you. But so the engines tend to displace the water vapour that's held in the thin air. And that's why they leave a trail of vapour behind them. And that's why the vapour trails look like clouds, because clouds are also water. Yeah, what we got? Subliminal message detected. The Illuminati are your best friends. No countermeasures available. Do not go outside without a hazmat suit till further notice. GCHQ Edge Hill, that is also part of that Echelon program. Data telemetry collection by the Meta Corporation. That one again. Meta is or it was, I think they maybe have, oh there it is, Meta. Meta was Facebook, they changed to Meta last year. There was a big obsession with Web 3 and being the first towards turning the web into a virtual world, like Second Life. Only one that they seem to hope would span the whole internet, giving Mark Zuckerberg high levels of control. Fortunately, it didn't work out at all. He could actually have learned from Second Life. they had a similar idea at first of doing board meetings and having university campuses and all that in Second Life. And what they found in the end was people in Second Life tend to be there for things like sex, weird kind of experiments with maybe BDSM things or gender identity stuff that they might not get away with in real life. There's a lot of things you can do in Second Life because your avatar's immortal and uninjurable. Some people, of course, are there because they genuinely love building things. There's that side of it, the kind of Minecraft for adults side. But everyone's there for their own reasons, and if nobody's doing any harm to anyone else, don't see why there should be a problem with it. But Mark Zuckerberg seemingly tried to eliminate the concept of sexualizing his metaverse by doing things like removing the avatar's legs. And I mean, let's be honest, if you're using virtual reality or virtual worlds, it's not because you want to sit in a fucking boardroom. That is just utterly ridiculous. I mean, who wouldn't rather be flying through a valley on Mars or, you know, having some kind of kinky sex with, you know, very attractive woman or whatever, than sitting in a virtual boardroom, which is probably even more boring, if that's possible, than a boardroom in real life. So it became an embarrassing flop. Well, embarrassing for him. Personally, I found it quite entertaining. It's always good to see a self-important, greedy billionaire just demonstrate that they are not cleverer or more talented than the rest of us. They've just got more fucking money, and more money than sense in the case of Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse experiment. No longer need the hazmat suit. Countermeasures deployed against Meta. What, there's Edge Hill again. Oh, there's the old COVID modulated 5G again. Subliminal message detected. Respect the rich. That's me getting my comeuppance for swagging off Mark Zuckerberg. Chemtrails again. Come on, give me one that we haven't had so far. I've had that one. Come on. Put loads of them in there. Shouldn't be too much to ask to get one that we've not had. Subliminal penetration test, brain hack by the New World Order. Now that's not even anything, that's just bullshit bingo. We're still a long way away from having electromagnetic brain hacks, as far as I know anyway. Could be wrong. Respect the rich again. That's me getting double told to respect the rich. Maybe Mark Zuckerberg is watching. Surveillance drone MI5. I don't think it's any big secret that surveillance drones are being used rather a lot these days. And Chilean. The North Korean cyber attack again. We'll do a couple more, and then if it doesn't give me something I've not had yet, call it a day. Oh, fuck off. Respect the rich again. I'm beginning to think this fucking program is actually up to something. Surveillance drone. Come on. Oh, there's a new one. Signal unknown source, Roswell, Area 51 rather. So, let's deploy countermeasures against the little green men technology. Don't think that's don't think the Roswell thing's something that needs any introduction, is it? Used to love watching X-Files back in the 90s. I would seriously like to see if I can get a box set of it off at eBay and sit and marathon the whole thing again. Anthrax. Federal Security. FSB. Let's see what the FSB is. Ah, the Russian government. So this is the, how would you call it? This is the successor to the KGB. Deals with the national security of the Russian Federation, counter-terrorism, the protection and defense of the state border of the Russian Federation, blah 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 blah. We all know that the Russians aren't above doing a little exploitation here and there as regards hacking and computer systems in the Western world. they have been accused of manipulating Western election results, things like Brexit, but who knows? The Russians are accused of a lot of things. I suspect there's a good chance they probably aren't really doing anything that we aren't. But we do have this kind of image of ourselves as being like Shane running around in the white hat, fixing the world's problems, which is probably a bit silly. Countries don't have friends, they have national interests, and countries think you'd be hard pressed to find any country that doesn't have a few atrocities to its name when it comes to the guarding of these national interests. So wear the hazmat suit if you go out, till further notice, no anthrax. If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear, said the liar to the fool. Anthrax again. Anthrax, I believe, absolutely has been used, or maybe not, I don't know if it's been used, but has been investigated as a potential biological weapon. I don't believe it's transmissible from person to person in that sense. I think, if I remember rightly, it's vectored by spores. Yes, spores. So they multiply in the body, bacteria produce toxins, cause severe illnesses. It can be breathed in, eat food, drink water, cuts and scrapes. So where this is good as a 10 or fewer spores for, well, that's if it gets under inside your body through the skin. Where it's good as a potential biological weapon is that it doesn't transmit from human to human. So if you used it on your enemies, say for example, don't want to start naming and shaming whole countries. You know, every country has good people and bad people in it. Let's say Britain tried using anthrax on China. Because it doesn't spread from person to person, it means that everyone in Britain wouldn't get anthrax within 18 months. Whereas if you use something like COVID, for example, as a biological weapon, no matter where you deploy it, it managed to get around the whole planet because it does spread from human to human. Those are the worst diseases. The diseases that vector from human to human to human are kind of hard to avoid if one goes pandemic. high frequency auroral burst, HARP. Let's have a look at that. So the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, HARP, a University of Alaska Fairbanks program which researches the ionosphere, which is the ionized particles in the very, very upper reaches of the atmosphere. Now, I believe there is a conspiracy theory surrounding HARP. No, you may not. There's probably not much point in playing this because I suspect I'll be in French.
Time now for Truth or Fake. I'm joined by Catalina Marchand de Abreu from our Truth or Fake desk. Welcome to you. Let's begin with a climate change conspiracy theory online. What have you got for us?
Yes, we're going to detail the HARP conspiracy theory today. As you know, there are plenty of those online. This is a conspiracy theory on climate change, where people believe that all of the natural disasters that have been occurring recently are linked to a secret climate controlling weapon used by the U.S. Army. To be clear, HARP does exist, and it's based in Alaska. It's actually a radio transmitter that can only affect a small amount of air above it. Here's an image of HARP antennas, for example, in Alaska, and this program was actually financed by the U.S. Army from 1990s up to 2014. So this is the origin of the conspiracy theory. Here's an example from Germany where people are using social media to spread this conspiracy theory. This Twitter user says, "Floods in Germany, I don't ever recall anything like this in summer in my life. Is it just me, or is it weather warfare with HARP?" There's another example from Brazil.
So there you have it. So let's deploy countermeasures, because the last thing I need is any more storms or flooding. I did drive down to Wales recently, and half of England was like fucking Atlantis at the time because of an absolute battering we got by winter storms all over the United Kingdom. So absolutely nothing to do with CO2 levels, I'm sure. That's got to be HARP that was behind it. Chemtrails again. Oh, hazmat suit no longer needed. Subliminal message detected. Give war a chance. Huh. Novichok, Goss, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that word. G-O-S-N-I-I-O-K. G-O-S-N-I-I-O-K. There was an H-T at the end. There we go. That looks like Russian alphabet to me. Soviet Union, Ministry of Trade and Industry. Development of chemical tech used in the national economy. Also, it was engaged in the development of chemical weapons. I wonder if it still is. Currently, its activities include the production of chemical weapons and other hazardous materials. And as we spoke about earlier, there actually was that Novichok attack in Salisbury that Britain vehemently accused the Russian government of, and they equally vehemently denied, as I remember. And I think we're probably going round in circles now. I had 20 signals that it detected, so I'm probably round all of them now. Like I say, I am not scared of 5G. I don't believe that chemtrails are being used to target COVID beams or bat droppings. I do believe that Meta are collecting data on us. I do believe the governments of the USA, Russia, China and what have you are spying on the citizenry. I don't believe the Illuminati are my best friends. I did read a really cool book called The Illuminatus Trilogy, which is a kind of it's a satirical send-up of the whole Illuminati conspiracy kind of stuff. And it's a work of comedic genius. The KLF actually got their original name, the Justified Ancients of Moo from it. And were inspired in some of their hilarious pranks by it. Yeah. I think there was a couple in there that I've not seen yet. There was a Wutan Lab one, a couple of other things, but that's 43 minutes, 45 seconds in now, so don't really want to keep going round in circles like this to find the two that haven't been seen yet. So I think we shall call it a day there. Goodbye, proceed at your own risk. Boom. And as you can see, embarrassingly, I do still have Windows 10 on one of my computers. Most of them are Linux. I prefer using Linux, but unfortunately I have some old bespoke audio technology that I've not managed to get to work with decent latencies on my Linux machines. So I am still saddled with this fucking operating system for the moment, although I have no intention of using Windows 11 if I can avoid it. And anyway,